Hi, in this video I'll be doing a bit of work on my Toyota Celica. Mainly I'll be working with the intake side. Additionally I'll be relocating the power steering radiator and use an aftermarket one. I also have a broken AC line that needs fixing. So currently the intercooler charge pipe makes this U-turn here and goes from here to the upper side of this intercooler. It's a vertical intercooler. It's not very large, and then it goes from down here, goes up here and into the intake. Then the engine moves, and it has actually worn out this AC line there. There's a hole in there now. So definitely I need to change something, either the AC line or I'll have to change this intercooler piping. Also I still have this stock steering radiator, and that one I also definitely want to replace, and it's like loose in here. Otherwise the car is really good, but I think it needs a bit better cooling and a bit better intake. The way the intercooler is currently installed, it's not very good. When I was building this, I swapped the engine. That was like 4 or 5 years ago. Then I wasn't even sure if the swap will work out. That's why I got like the kind of cheapest intercooler, and also I saved money on other parts. But now that this setup has proven really reliable, I think it has deserved upgrades. I was thinking about going air to water intercooling, but I don't like the extra complexity that comes with the system. Also, they are very prone to heat soaking. The thing is that I already have from previous owner of the engine this thing. Using a ratcheting wrench seems to be the easiest way to get these 3 studs out to remove the bumper. I have used extensions before in the past and I was really struggling. So yeah, anyways, I'll just show the tool. Like, got the front bumper removed. Pipe goes back here and up there. And then this intercooler is fastened to the crash bar and also here. And then it goes from down here all the way around and up here. With 180mm tall intercoolers, which would fit here, it's only possible to get one that is only 10 centimeters longer. However, the amount of these passageways would be only 10. Here I have 25 of them. I used Cloud AI to calculate the surface area, the pressure drops, and also, you know, how much the temperature should drop on different highway speeds, and inserted all the engine flow parameters and everything, and actually came to a conclusion that this intercooler will be more effective than the horizontal one in this specific application. The pressure drop would be 2 or 3 times higher with the horizontal one than this one. This intercooler just flows so much better. What I will do though is to improve the placement of this intercooler. So currently it has uneven gap here. I'll put the intercooler more towards here, and this will leave also more space at the crash bar. This side of the intercooler, you can see I can fit my hand, and it's basically against the AC radiator on this side. But this side it's sticking out, and I'm pretty sure I can change the mounting bracket so it would sit closer to the AC radiator. After removing intercooler piping, and if you know that you're not going to install it immediately, be sure to put some caps or rubber gloves on here as well, because you don't want to get shit in there. I need to cut this shorter so it can go closer to the radiator. Made this hole a bit bigger to the upper side, because before this pipe that goes from the intercooler, it was a bit had to point down. Trimmed a little bit of material away from here so that this intercooler could a bit go deeper in a bit. I don't want it to be against the AC radiator, but before it was like really quite far away. But I used kind of this drill bit here to do it, and of course I didn't hit it with the drill bit itself, but the rim of the drill, so this part here, I hit this wiring loom and I didn't notice on time. None of the material or like the wire itself has been damaged, so I'll have to patch these up a bit. I also managed to hit this part here. Well, this cable is not in use, so clean this a bit and paint it so it wouldn't rust. I'll use a bit of cardboard and spray paint. Cardboard is to protect the things I don't want to spray. So I added some insulating spray paint, and it seems to be doing its thing. Yeah. Alright, I got the new rivet holes for the intercooler done. Added the new nut, put the aluminium spacer here, cut it to size. It's you know, the gap is here like almost 2 fingers. Before it was on one side 2 fingers, and on this side I couldn't even put a finger in here. I'm reducing the airflow from here, because the bumper only has a hole here. It doesn't have any holes up here, which means that all the air that goes in also to the upper side of this radiator has to go through here then. The bumper was a bit more to this side, now it's more to this side, but it's perfect because here is some AC line thing. It has a nice gap here, and before this pipe here, also part of the AC system, was behind the radiator, but now as you can see it's no longer exactly behind the radiator. Now this won't reach, but all I have to do is get a little bit longer coupler. Some silicone spray. Okay, I got the AC line removed, and the intercooler has created a hole here. While it's being fixed, I put some rubber gloves into the holes. This way there won't be any dirt getting into the lines. My friend Janos welded this. Also found that I have one of these AC line clamps is not attached, so I need to repair this one as well. It had some rubber gasket here or dampener, and I just added a piece of intercooler silicone piping in between, just a tiny piece. My main problem before was that the hood, you can maybe even see there's like a hole in here. Hit and rub this part here all the time, and when I close the hood, then I thought that I have a gap here, but as soon as I closed the hood it pressed this down, and that's why it started wearing out this AC line there. I'll attempt to clock this turbo a little bit. Now this is already touching this engine bottom part, but I did get this much, I don't know, maybe a couple of degrees at least. So now that I clocked the turbo a bit lower, I'll also add this angled connector here and redo this pipe here, so that from here it would go more straight up, creating a bigger gap with this thing, and then do a sharper turn and go lower, go like more like from here. One of the heat shield rivets have come off, so I'm just installing a new one. This is how close it is now, and this one has plenty of space. Even if I press it, then it will never touch this, so it's a bit better definitely. I'm pressure testing the system and I found a leak. If I move this pipe, you can... So the leak is from this silicone coupler's edge. So if I bend this pipe even a little, it starts to leak. In the rest of the piping, I'll add a bit of pressure. I don't hear any hissing anywhere else or feel any air movement. It's now holding nicely over 30 psi or over 2 bar, and I only needed to tighten the clamp, but without testing you will never know. I'm pretty sure this leak was there for a long time already. I am aware that I didn't test this because I would have to put pressure on this as well, because this needs to be pressurized when you pressurize this as well. It has to have equal boost or the gate will open. Currently the air filter is located very much to this side here, but I want to put a bigger one, and I think it makes sense to pull it out a bit and put more like over here. First of all, it will have this where to put its length, and also it will make this pipe shorter. Probably I'll have to cut it already from here, so I'll lose this thing here. However, I have a spare port here as well. So one is for the PCV, positive crankcase ventilation, and the other hose is for the throttle body. Cut off quite a big part of this silicone hose here. This enabled for this pipe to be shorter and give more space for the air filter, also point it more downwards. Before it was actually, the old air filter was very high up, so it was actually hitting the hood a little bit. And the problem that the angle of this had to change. These pipes are facing upward, so I need to get rid of them here and put them down here. Got the temperature sensor installed again with some heat resistant silicone. Get longer hoses for the throttle body and catch can lined to hook them up here. Very happy. If it moves, then it doesn't touch here anything anymore. Finished with the air filter. Really nice, very happy. Still missing this part here, but it will come later. Gearing radiator is just horrible placement. I think I should reroute the pipes already from somewhere here and get this cooling radiator to up here a bit. Move this horn and put this radiator here. I already removed the old power steering radiator while I was trying on the bumper. I figured I'll also see how much space there is for this steering radiator, and apparently there's a shit ton of free room here. I can literally just pull the radiator against here. I used pliers to rip off some of these upper threads so the radiator can go a little bit higher, and it will actually clear and fit in here. The bumper will not fit, and there's even a hole back here that you can use for the radiator fastening. I also bent this one a little bit up so I can loop around from here, and the other one can go from here to get the steering hoses on here. And also it will be perfectly in front of the fog light vent hole. I don't have fog lights in my front bumper, I have these vent holes, so it will be exactly behind it as well. Here are a couple of holes. I put zip ties. One was here, so this holds it, and up here one I put into this headlight, so now this is like, it's like super solid, it's not going anywhere. And this way also none of the power steering heat will be transferred to the radiator intercooler. Before I had it like here in front of the intercooler. Got power steering hoses on, and here I beat in a bit this edge to make it smoother as well here. Otherwise it has very sharp edge, and in addition I put some plastic hose covers on here so the rubber wouldn't be against the metal here. Here they just go up there to the stock locations. I put the bumper on for a trial fit, and the only thing that it's slightly hitting is this here, but this I can just cut off with the box knife. So I'll just mark it. I'll also have to cut out a bit from here to let more air in. Well, one option would be to just completely remove this plastic, but I think I want to cut out these holes here and leave these two black lines here. On this side I want to install this thing behind here to channel air, but let's see how are we doing with space. Somewhere like this. So here I marked it, and I only need to cut off a bit of this insulation here. On the oil cooler side I just cut out these two pieces using a box knife, so this will definitely push more air against the radiator. And on this side where I want to put this thing to attach an air pipe, here I trimmed a little bit from here. I also cut this edge a bit and this edge to create more of a flat surface. I used some insulation foam to cut out this piece. It goes in here. Just use the box knife to cut it. And now when I put this thing here, and this will fill up this gap here, so all the air is pushed into this pipe. I assume also these will actually help to push the air into this smaller area here. Put some epoxy now and use the brake caliper to let it be pushed down and let it dry. The epoxy has dried, but now I will add some more to these sides to make sure that this pipe won't break off. Otherwise, so far it's pretty solid. And here I also trimmed this a bit to be less. To get this thing out, you have one bolt here that sits in like this, and then you need to undo the fuse box. One bolt is here, one is here, and one is in the bottom, and you also have to take out the battery. This will now go straight to the front of the bumper, because now it just takes air from here, which is also not bad, but I wanted to take this air straight from the bumper. So let's see if I can install this thing here. Definitely the hardest part of it was to get it through from this holder. You have to make it into a bit of oval shape, but once you get the first one through, and the rest of the pipe is already easy. You can probably see that I have a bit of creases here, so I pushed it from up to down and then I started to pull it through once I got the first end. Whew. And I think this one actually goes back pretty well. I can already see that the holes will align. Probably here I have to massage it and crush it a bit, but I think this is the maximum size pipe that you can put here without any extra modifications. And this one was this is like 8-9 centimeter diameter. I will put in video description the exact pipe that I used. A little bit about the gauge setup. So here I have a SAS tracks oil pressure and temperature sensor. I have it a bit modified. I removed this chrome trim and I also added green cellophane paper on top of this because this number digital display down here is way too bright. AM wideband. This is just wedged in here. It's just from eBay. Maybe you can see just this 1 gauge metal pot holder. The recent development is this it's G-Force 3. It's my boost controller, and this one used to be taped to the front of this, and actually it had a pocket here, but this pocket you can remove. It was held in by screws, so now I used epoxy and I built this metal bracket here to hold this in place. And when I switched gears I kept hitting these buttons, so hopefully now that it's more inside then it won't I won't hit these buttons all the time. So this is how it looks installed. This is actually also connected to the signal of the wideband. Can detect if it leans out, then it will also cut the boost. Yeah, that's all about the interior. I'm really happy about this. This was really one of the most annoying things. Yeah, so the steering radiator is now really nicely getting air. Intercooler, I think, cannot be lower. You might think I'll put it lower, but the thing is that behind here is anyways a bar. So if I put it lower, then the intercooler is blocked from the other side. It is very nicely even. From here you can also see that it feeds right into this tube. And the tube goes all the way up here. That was a tiring project. And I will only find out in spring whether everything worked. I think the biggest surprise was to find this air leak down here. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe, and leave a comment if you have any questions or you just liked the video.